Yeah, you can sleep on the pads, right? All right, I might as well start the show now. I'm already recording, so, and I was on Twitch. I was trying to spread the word around. And welcome again to another episode of the Georgia Music Gamers podcast. This is your host Cyber. This is episode 9, June 20th, 2018, and we are going to be talking about DDR Storm at CEO, which is a tournament within a tournament. It's Tournament World for people who might have gotten that reference. Probably only the old heads. Anyway, I'm very excited to welcome Viva Lamuchik, and I think this is his very first time on a podcast. And he is the man for this event. We also have Vince, who's going to be helping him, and a bunch of the regulars in chat here, which is always good to have them here. So, what's up, Steven? Do you mind if I call you Steven?
Yeah, no problem.
This is Steven. You'll be seeing a lot of him if you're in Daytona Beach. It's going to be what, June 29th to the 1st of July?
Yes, that is correct. In beautiful Daytona Beach. Be sure to bring sunscreen if you are not from Florida or Georgia. I know a lot of Northerners always forget that, and they come out after the weekend just completely sunburnt and wrecked.
It's great. It's going to be at the Ocean Center. I think that's the name of the convention
Yep,
center.
that is correct.
And it's supposed to be ridiculously huge. I got the website pulled up right here. But it's going to be like a huge convention center. Have they always held CEO here? Is that
No, this is actually the first year that it's been held here. They switched venues from the Wyndham Resort in Orlando, Florida, which that's been in there in the Wyndham since I believe 12. So this is a huge change of direction for CEO, and they have also partnered with don't know the name exactly, the Japan Wrestling League.
Yeah. I'm looking at that on their front page. The NJPW, I guess is what it's called.
Yep, that's it. So that's an interesting pickup. I just saw a screenshot from Alex Jabali the other day, the man in charge of CEO itself. He posted a screenshot with the signed contract for the event at CEO the other day. So that was exciting to see. Esports crossing over with real sports.
For
Well,
those who
quote
don't
unquote.
know, Alex is really into wrestling. Alex Jabali. And CEO's gimmick, as it were, at least for the past couple of years, is that everybody does like the big streamed matches are done in like literally in the middle of a wrestling ring. And so it's kind of I call it a gimmick, but really it's like the theme of the whole thing. Like you can notice in the CEO logo, it's shaped like a wrestling belt. Yeah, like that seems to
Yep.
be the whole thing.
And if you win one of the main event tournaments that has over 100 entrants, I think, you get an actual wrestling belt as the prize.
That's going to be awesome.
Which, now that DDR has officially hit over 100 people, I might have to reintroduce that to Alex. Because that would be really exciting for someone in the dance games community to get one of those wrestling belts.
Yeah, for real. It's going to be awesome, man. So DDR Storm as a tournament has had a history. Maybe you want to give the people listening a little bit of a background of what DDR Storm is.
All right. DDR Storm is technically the second longest running tournament series, next to the 8 on the Break tournament series, Kings of the Coast, Champions of the Coast. Started in 2001, January, I believe, and has taken a year hiatus in 2017, as it was kind of switching ownership from Joshua Campbell, Tiger, in the Florida community. He had been running it, and I had kind of joined on in 2010 to help start running the series. And it kind of started out as just this hole in the wall kind of tournament at Aladdin's Castle if anyone still remembers what those were back in the day. Uh, they used to have something called Poppin' in the Cage. Uh, and it was pretty just people would bring their own home setups and just play it in the free play cage. Uh, and that kind of grew the community here down in Florida and kind of brought people down from the southeast region for many years. And I want to say in around 2010, 2011, there was this tournament series called Fort Rapids.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
For In the Groove, yeah. And that came to an end in I think 2012. So after that, the community had really no major national anymore for In the Groove. So I think it was literally Kevin Bodie, Mega Man X himself, who came to one of the previous storms and was just promoting the crap out of Storm and was like, why the heck isn't it down here? Florida's so beautiful. It's gonna be on the beach now, so like it's literally the perfect venue. So in 2013, that's when the first quote unquote national storm was held in Daytona Beach. And ever since then, I'd say I thought it was getting a little too big for too fast for a while. With Storm 2016, we had 21 machines there.
Golly, I mean, I remember seeing photos like on Facebook and stuff, and thinking like, man, that's a lot of dance game machines. It's just
Yeah, for not being an official like Tokyo attack or anything, I was very amazed at just the general community's turnout and response to being so willing to bring cabinets.
that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, and some Tiger, I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't know if you're watching the Twitch stream, but I'm playing the I'm playing the Move Over for Supernova video that Tiger made with what was his name, Mike or Matt?
Uh,
I forget his name.
John Meisberg.
Meisberg. I keep forgetting his name. Yeah, those guys were amazing. And a couple years ago, well, several years ago now, they made some videos they put online. Uh, they were really into DDR, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Just a little bit.
Funnily enough, they were, I would say, probably some of the biggest motivators when I was first starting DDR. I was like, oh, these people are really cool. They're really good at DDR. Like Josh has that kind of paranoia boy, just naturally freestyles when he plays,
Hmm.
kind of thing going on. So, and just seeing someone do that while having really good perfect attack, uh, kind of mind blowing to me, honestly.
You had a very distinct way of playing. Yeah, that's awesome. Hey Vince, are you here?
Hello.
I hear you're also going to be at DDR Storm,
I am. I will be running the pump tournament.
and this is your first time going.
Yes, it is.
How are you feeling?
I'm pretty excited. I get to meet some old and a ton of new faces, and I'll be in Florida.
Oh, I'm assuming you've been to Florida before, though, right?
Yeah,
But never for a tournament situation.
yeah, not yeah. This is actually going to be my first out of state tournament event that I will be attending.
That's awesome. Yeah, if you haven't met Vince yet, he's a real fun guy to hang out with. Uh,
Are you sure? I
oh,
hear he's a pump player.
well, oddly enough, you're going to be running the pump tournament, like you said, so
Yeah.
it would only make sense, right?
Just find me. I'll be wearing my pink hat, as always, my pink flat cap, and my ponytail. Just it's not that hard to spot me.
I guess it's worth asking. Has anybody in the listening audience been to Storm before? Anybody here?
I went to a lot of the old ones with the batting cages,
I'll see.
like that Steven was talking about.
Yeah, you got some experience. Tell me a bit about those.
So I remember them setting up like a poppin' AFC inside the cage, and I don't really remember how it was projected or like what screen it used, but yeah, I remember that setup. Um, Dude named Matt 300. Like we'd always take a trip to IHOP afterwards, back when it was still IHOP.
Before it turned into
Uh,
IBOB.
yeah, and it was always such a mess. We were young back then, so it's like we had no respect for a business trying to run a business. It was like 30 of us show up to IHOP and want all of their attention, and we're just causing a ruckus.
Oh, and probably like no reservation either, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. That was when Matt 300 chugged a bottle of strawberry syrup.
Oh God, are you serious?
Yeah. The video that I pulled up earlier when you were asking for videos, there's like that dance circle that was in the parking lot at IHOP.
You know what? I'll go ahead and change the video to that one because I have that one too.
But yeah, I think I only went to like maybe 2 or 3 storms, and this was all like early 2000s, 2006 ish, 5.
Did you go by yourself?
I went with Disco Man.
Okay. Disco Man, yeah. Well, he doesn't go by Disco Man anymore. He likes to be called John Japan.
I went with the artist formerly known as Disco Man.
Was Random
Because
Negro there
Disco,
too?
yeah, he was there.
Dolph.
That was we were a tighter crew back then, I guess.
Dolph is featured in the video that's playing in the corner right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever happened to Dolph?
He's in. Oh, actually, I don't know if he's in Japan right now, but he's been living in Japan.
Yeah, he's become something of a world traveler. So Dolph is one of the old heads too. He used to go by Random Negro. He moved to Japan for a long time. He started like a photography business, and then something happened, and he had to move back. So I think now he's back in Georgia, but he's been traveling all over the place. So he's back in the Americas. But for a while there, he was in Japan for several years, living the dream.
Okay.
I just came here to say I love Steven and Vincent.
That's awesome, man.
Ah, yes. All Grizz.
It's me.
Hi,
Love
Grid.
you too.
Are you going to be at DDR Storm?
Not confirmed at the moment. Had an event happen.
So,
Yeah,
temporary.
Mr. Brunson was telling me.
Oh, about the one that just happened?
Yeah, we were playing Fortune Street last night.
That's some shit.
Yeah, fortunate.
But I'm about to go get food. I love you all. Have a wonderful night.
Okay, well,
Love you too.
thanks for stopping by. So, Tommy, you said you went? Do you have a mic? Kimono Boy, everybody. Said he went to DDR Storm 2014.
It's that boy, everybody.
It's that boy. I guess he's a little camera shy. He doesn't want to talk. He's typing in chat. Okay. Oh, he's watching. So okay, I get it. Yeah, Dot Phase, our resident Dot Phase is playing 2DX on stream. So apparently you've got more important things to do than hang out in this podcast, my friend. But that's all right. Well, great. Are you planning? Is anybody else planning on going this year? I guess that'd be a good question.
As far as I know, the only Georgians that are like confirmed going are obviously me, Enoch, Evan Hobbs, and Thomas Prague, aka Coco Fox and T Swag.
And T Swag, okay. Cool.
I don't know about anyone else though, but
I was gonna
yeah.
go, but I didn't really plan ahead enough for it. And I also didn't really know how big Storm was until really close to it happening, so maybe next year though.
yeah, it's like if you try to register for any tournaments now, it's like $100
Yeah,
for last minute emergency registration.
No, okay. It's $100 for like if you're entering fighting games, right? It's not for the general admission.
right. Okay, yeah. For clarification on this, because yeah, it has remained a little ambiguous. Spectating fees will not change in price whatsoever throughout the entire event. And the event has gotten so big that they are now allowing for pre-orders on just the single day tickets that were previously only going to be on site.
Golly.
The the last I remember seeing, I think there were 3,300 entrants across all the tournaments.
That's
So-
pretty big. That's pretty big. Well, the convention center is going to be something like upwards of 50,000 square feet or something. So I mean, there's going to be plenty of space.
Correct. It can fit up to 9,000.
Okay. It's still a lot of people though. Jeez.
Yeah.
And it's not just dance games. I mean, CEO traditionally has been a fighting game tournament, so there's going to be plenty. I'm sure they're going to have the Street Fighter Fives and your Tekkens and all that on
Yep,
the main
and-
stage.
And for those of you who have not been to a CEO before, in the most recent, like 2 or 3 years, they started introducing artist alleys and other things that kind of make it more like a convention. I know this year they actually started introducing panels as well. Not sure what they're even going to be about, but that'll be interesting.
Cool. And
And-
I heard from somebody that they were bringing some preview of a game or something. Did I hear some fighting game?
Super Smash Brothers Ultimate
That's
is
right.
going to have a playable demo at the event, yes.
There's probably going to be a lot of Smash kids there. I can probably imagine.
I think Smash is one of the biggest fighting games has like the higher number of like
Entrance.
entrants. Yeah.
Okay.
It helps that Florida is one of the bigger states for Smash. Local to Orlando, they have like Angry Box and Plup, and I think Mewtwo King lives in Gainesville.
I love Mewtwo King. He's so funny.
Blake.
Is it a fighting game? We're not going to talk about Smash Bros. in this stream. We had
We
enough.
can. Wasn't there a panel at one of the MagFests for DDR or something?
I know there was more than I needed to know about music games. That was run by my buddy Sherlock.
Okay, that's probably what I was thinking of then.
Shout outs to Sherlock.
So maybe
That was a
for
fun panel.
CEO 2019, we can have a panel that's similar to that.
Yeah, that one was more of like a history of music games. I mean, I think someone posted a video of it.
Okay.
Julian did, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, that was the one that had like the. Can we on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like that whole like fuck Konami
Yes.
thing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly that. It's worth a watch if you guys can find it on YouTube. It's actually pretty funny. I think the panelists were like what, the Cat and Anthony were up there if I remember correctly.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good time.
I think something like that would be pretty good to help bring in non-rhythm game community people at an
Yeah.
event like that.
Well, I mean, okay, so granted, these people play fighting games, and I don't really know what the arcade scene is like down in Florida. I know there's a lot of like scattered machines everywhere. There's not really like a super centralized location, kind of like what we have with Round One and stuff like that in Atlanta. But my guess is most people have probably seen some form of dance machine or DDR in the past. But you're right, like it would be helpful to have like a primer or something. It's like, hey, this is what we're about. You're just kind of like, we're not just guys sweating on machines, we like games just as much as you, and like some type of effort to ease people into the idea of it. Because while I imagine there's going to be very well defined locations for all the games and stuff, I could definitely see some people complaining about like those dance machine guys, they're so loud or whatever. It almost always happens in like arcades, you know. So I think it'd be like a neat way to bridge the gap between the cultures, because again, like I said, they're all arcade games originally. Like a lot of these games are arcade games, or they came from the arcade environment. So I'm sure people.
So,
yeah,
My
go ahead, John.
experience in fighting games is that they all are pretty aware of the music games in general. At least the people who got into fighting games back when it was going to an arcade type of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a problem with them coexisting at all, honestly.
Yeah, and given the size of the venue, I don't foresee any problems. But nowadays most people play games at home. Like that seems to be the majority. So maybe that exposure isn't as much as it used to be way back in the day. You know, I'm talking from a place of old head.
Yeah, I can't personally see like the entrance list, but I did notice that Chris G signed up for ITG, so
Oh my
like
God,
that's
that's
already some crossover.
Chris Groove. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he
I
played the game, to be honest.
I kind of wish I did have a stamina speed division now, because that's actually what Chris plays. Apparently, what Piran was saying is he can pass like in 20.
Seriously.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
so
He must play in Chinatown Fair when no one's watching. He's from New York, right? He's still there, or did he move?
oh, I actually don't know if he moved or not. But yeah, he probably should still be in New York.
Cool. Well, why don't you tell us about some of the specifics to the tournaments? Because I know you guys said briefly you guys are running some, but if you want to talk briefly about like maybe the rule sets and prizes and all that stuff, that might be
Sure.
good info.
So prize sets, so it's based on the $10 entry fee per person. Unfortunately, dance games are not getting like pot bonuses this year. I think because of the sponsors that are there, like Geico's a sponsor, and we're being set up literally next to like the Red Bull booth.
Uh-oh, that's a
For the
disaster.
dance game
That's a
setups.
disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Don't drink water, drink Red Bull.
Yeah, that's gonna be awful. But I think with how much visibility dance games this year, I think might not be out of the realm of possibilities for there to be sponsors next year.
Cool.
Depending on what kind of PR we can make for ourselves. Anyways, so yeah, we will be having 3 main event tournaments. Main event being just they were on the main list of events that you could register for on the event page for CEO.
Hmm.
That will be DDR Extreme Pro, which is that kind of hacked version of Extreme that added in the Marvelous window, normal play, and EX score. Yeah,
John
I
says
mean,
the best version of Extreme.
I would say that's accurate. Yes. um, so I'm actually kind of worried that people just figured Extreme Pro meant like, hey, you have to be good at Extreme. Like this is the high tier kind of level competition.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because from being a tournament organizer for this long, you come to realize that people tend to not read the rules until like either the day before or the week of the event.
Oh man, I'm gonna have a fun time with that for Pump.
Well, that's part of why we're doing this, so you guys can share this podcast and tell your friends about it, but then also share the rule sets as well.
Yep, I
'Cause
will.
that's always an issue for sure. I know.
Yeah, I will let Vincent handle the pump rule set. But in general, all 3 tournaments will be using the card draw format, which is you either use like some online program or dedicated program that will random X amount of songs. So for all the events, there will be until top 8 will be best out of a 5 card draw, where players get long day at work, clearly. Where the players they will random 5 of the songs from, say, the IT pack or the DDR song list of Extreme and Challenge songs.
Okay.
They will random 5 of those, and depending on the player's seed from qualifying, they will get the choice of pad side, veto order, or protect order. Protect is something that is newer to tournaments, so that is just the opposite of vetoing. You protect one song that the other person cannot veto, and it has to be played. So each player will get one choice. So that's 2 guaranteed songs that stay for each drawn set. Then the players can veto 2 of the songs, and then that last one is kind of the random in that sense.
I see. Okay.
And it kind of makes it a little more fair in that it's just literally a random draw. There's not bias towards any one specific pick, so it kind of makes you have to. It forces you to have to be better at the majority of songs. And then going into top 8, that'll go from best out of 5 to best out of 7. However, depending on how much time we have left for Extreme Pro, a lot of the top players were saying they wanted to switch it to match rules.
Okay. Yeah. And explain that briefly, so for people who don't know.
Right. I'm not the best at explaining match rules, but it's essentially I will explain it kind of using point-based system. So if you win a song, you go up 1-0. You would need to win by like a margin of 2 in order to win the match. So anything like 2-0, 3-1, 5-3, something like that.
Yeah. So it's just like big tournament golf rules for those who are aware of what we did at the Andes tournament. You gotta, or tennis. I mean, I guess you could say tennis, right?
No, what?
You
have to win a certain amount of games above.
Oh, that's if you both hit 6 tennis, 6. What is it?
Sure.
6 games.
Oh, that.
Yeah, like you have to. Yeah, that's it. It's not like that either of those. Really, it sounds like.
Well,
yeah, because
he's saying you have to win. I guess.
But there's no like minimum number you have to win in order.
Right, like the moment you reach the threat, once you get far enough from your opponent and wins, is what you're saying.
Right, rather than it being some set minimum, and then after you both cross that threshold, then you have to win by that margin. Yeah.
Okay.
So is there a maximum though? Like, or could this just theoretically go on forever?
So yeah, due to time, I set the maximum where each player gets to pick up to 5 songs, and then after that, it'll go into like the random draw. So then they'll be forced into a card draw. So there's not too much time being spent on it. Because yeah, there was a time when we had a storm where we didn't have a limit on that, and I think one of the matches was like 15 songs, and we spent in the groove ended up being the longest tournament, and we were only running top 4 for Sunday.
Oh god.
Oh.
All right. Well, hopefully, I hope everything runs swiftly. I hope the matches are interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. It should run pretty smoothly. We have 3 dedicated DDR Extreme Pro cabinets for the event.
Cool.
So the plan is to kind of start phasing the machines out as we get further along in the tournament, unless we're running short on time.
Mm-hmm.
But ideally, we would like to start phasing the machines out and then give more people free play on the machines, because people don't want to spend all time at the tournament being all serious and stuff.
Yeah, you have to have room for fun. And as John so aptly asked, is there going to be any type of streaming for any of these?
Yes, so it's kind of like bring your own stream setup for us, which kind of sucks. But we will have one hardline with 10 up, which honestly for dance games, split that to like 3 up each per stream. Yeah, that's not too bad. And we have someone from Polarity Gaming helping us with the DDR Extreme Pro stream.
Cool.
So yeah, that one will be super professional. Then we do one of the people who is streaming the in the Groove tournament. He already has a stream set up for his cabinet, and he's one of the bringing it, so that'll be easy. He's just the same setup, and we'll be doing that. And then I'm not too sure what's going on for Pump either. Pump is kind of like a black box.
We have either Justin or Jose or whoever. I mean, I'll have my stream set up too, just in case. I'm gonna have a capture card ready.
Okay.
We'll work something out.
I hope you. I was gonna. You probably have like somebody's iPhone looking at the machines.
It's actually just gonna be a Facebook live stream.
We got to go back to like 2004 Mexico style and just use like a flip phone or some shit.
Flip phone. It'll be
Capture that
it'll be a
good
Sony
143
Handycam.
quality.
And then you can put that like fighting game, just tag in the title for like 4G stream, LOL.
Pump it up, cross tag battle.
Oh Lord! All right, well, that sounds like it's going to be pretty impressive. And you said you already have over 100 entrants for DDR alone, right? Is that?
The last we checked, we were at 102.
Wow, that's going to be crazy.
Yep. Which brings me into we have 3 machines dedicated for DDR Extreme Pro. We will have one DDR 2014 machine.
For exhibition purposes, of course.
For exhibition purposes, yes. 3 Pump It Up cabinets. One will be running the almighty Rave It Out mix.
Oh man.
Provided by Christopher Cortez. And then 1 Pump It Up FX cabinet from Marco, and then the GX Prime 2 cabinet from Justin. And then
shout outs to the machine owners for bringing their machines to a crazy event like this.
Yep, and then in the Groove 2 we'll have 2 dedicated Groove 2 cabinets. Both brought by someone from South Florida named Marshall, and Georgia resident Brett Beatty. Flash, if you will.
Flash. Everybody knows Flash.
Yeah, huge shout outs to Brett for bringing his machine since like 2014.
Oh, a data's coming? Oh, I didn't know. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, that is really cool.
Yep.
I'm assuming all the machines are free play, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And the arcade room will be open 24/7.
Nice.
Oh dear.
Once the dance tournaments are over, that's kind of gonna be a big deal for people.
Oh, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure a lot of signs get posted to keep food and drink away from the cabinets.
Anybody who's ever worked for Anthony for TGA will tell you, no drinks on the machine. It's a mantra that gets burned into your skull.
Yeah.
That's
kind of a good segue to Attack.
To what now?
That's kind of a good segue mentioning Tokyo Attack.
They're not coming, are they?
They're not, but if Storm is successful, that's actually going to be my next plan is to reach out to Anthony and see if we work out some sort of agreement for CEO next year. Like, I don't want them to overtake Arcade Impact or anything.
Yeah.
But kind of, I felt really bad that we had to pull back this year so heavily compared to like Storm 2016 in terms of number of machines and types of machines.
Right.
Because we had like UB, Pop-In, 2DX, I think some home Sound Voltec setups as well at Storm 2016, and we would love to incorporate not just dance games as part of the event series again.
If it helps, Enoch and probably I will bring DJ Max Respect setups, because I know he wants to run a side DJ Max Respect tournament at Storm next weekend. So
okay,
stay tuned for that.
And I'm sure people will be using their home setups for the other rhythm games as well.
Probably.
Yeah, arguably, since this is the first collaborative event between CEO and Storm, it's kind of like feeling it out and trying to get everybody, like trying to see if it'll work first and foremost, right?
Right, and I think historically, and at least in the States, like DDR specifically has probably gotten the largest number of entrants. I think he wanted to start with the biggest, and then if it ended up working out, maybe expand in the following years.
Yeah, so you guys have fun, but be on your best behavior. You want to leave a good impression.
Yeah. Essentially, as long. Oh, I don't. No, never mind. I'm not going to take a stab at any of the other communities.
Yeah, please.
We
We're
do want to make sure we are not the worst smelling.
yeah. So shower, same rules apply to conventions as to any other public event. Take your showers every day.
I've already heard
They
rumors
were
of
bringing
someone.
Smash, right?
What? Yes.
You said they were bringing Smash, right? I think you're
Yep.
in the clear.
Okay, so you alluded to what I didn't want to.
some low key shade over
It's
here.
okay. Yeah, it's
Oh,
coming from me, so like I'll be
some
the
less
target.
low key shade. One of my favorite quotes about the Smash community at tournaments is, "The Smash room is like when you open a fridge and you don't know what's gone bad."
Home of Florida's the largest fighting game or fighting. I hesitate to call it a fighting game. Uh,
Party fighting
party
game thing.
platformer.
This indie co-op game.
Which I'm sure they're gonna have a ton of entrants for. There you go, competitive party game. Thank you, Tommy, for saying the words that I could not find.
What, Mario Party?
Yeah, Mario Party.
Super Mario Party.
New Mario Party Switch has online. Anyways,
Yeah, bring your switches too. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of that going on.
Neo Turf Masters last minute side tournament.
That's gonna be weekend long, bro.
Someone's just got to bring a Neo Geo CD and we can play Scotland.
But I won't be there to beat you again, Vincent.
Oh no.
No, I wouldn't talk. We got Raven Mac in this chat, bro. He's next to Cho.
There were people on Twitter like making jokes about, oh, why isn't there an official beer pong tournament for CEO? And Jabali responded to them like, oh yeah, I marked it on there is an official tournament. I've marked it on the map, and when I checked on it, it was like just the official hotel for the venue.
Nice. That's cool. All right, well, we've heard the rule set for DDR. Vince, you said you're going to be running Pump.
I am, and I
Give us some details.
am currently revising Pump's rules at the moment. They're almost done, and I'm hoping to like not ever revise them ever again.
Tisk, man. We're only a week and change away. What are you
Well,
doing?
see, it's more like the rules that were posted before I got on board didn't make any sense. And I was going back in between like Steven and like everyone else. I'm just like, this doesn't really add up, because we're also using a card draw system. But the thing with this tournament is, it's going to each match is going to include one singles and one doubles, and then the tiebreaker random is going to be either singles or doubles depending.
Yeah. So
And so that huge protect and veto thing, I'm just like, let me think about this and like make this more sense so I don't have to go SMH my head all the time.
All right, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, a question about the rules. Was I given some like hacky version of the bite rules or something?
Kind of, it kind of looked like the big rules in a little bit, because I remember Tanya Shanklin, aka Harukaze, aka my pump mom from Texas/Russia, they immediately came up to me. I was like, these oddly look like our rules. I'm like, yeah, I didn't write them, so sorry, mom. Please don't ground me.
Yeah, it was, I think, Drake who gave them to us originally.
Probably. Yeah. And then now it's just kind of like, well, it's your call, Tio. I'm like, well, I guess I'm fixing up a lot of this shit.
Okay, well, just for the listeners who are going to be listening to this later in the week, can you give us like maybe a preview of what you're planning on doing?
A preview? No, it's we're using the card draw system. I'm gonna pull it up in the tab real quick.
And while you're pulling it up, I think I should make a general comment that maybe it might be good to post on the Storm and CEO pages that the pump rules are getting a slight revision and post it in the next.
I think as soon as this podcast is over, I'll send them to you and stuff, and then I'll post on like the site and everything. Just be like, hey, these are the rules. Please read them.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Yeah, because we don't, the whole purpose of getting this stuff out early, so that you minimize confusion, right?
Yeah. Okay, so we're using a card draw system. I think for like how I have it set up now is for all matches leading up to semifinals. Because every match is gonna be one singles, one doubles, and then the tiebreaker set of whatever the fuck. How we're gonna handle the card draw set for that is we're gonna have a separate card draw set for just singles only charts, and a second set of like the doubles only charts, and then a tiebreaker set for like a mix. And then basically what the players will be doing is they'll be vetoing down to one song
Okay.
for each set. So pretty much each match is definitely going to have guaranteed like one singles, one doubles, and one whatever is left or decided upon. And semifinals and up is I'm going to probably just make things more simple and just do like 7 songs randomized. They both contain both singles and doubles, and whatever's left over, that's what you're playing.
So
Because the matches are going to be like 2 out of 3 for leading up to semifinals, and then for all finals, it's going to be like best out of 5.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is all charts are fair game, essentially, singles or doubles.
Yeah, pretty much. We have level caps, obviously, and it's pump. It's like round 1, definitely for winners, is going to be 17 to 19. And it just accumulates from there. And round 4 and up is going to be like over level 21. Good luck, have fun.
That's like J-Boy level.
Yep. Welcome to Pump. We have like 42 entrants last time I checked. Should be pretty cozy and smooth. And I'm pretty sure I know like 90% of whoever registered anyway. So if anyone has any concerns or questions, just let me know. I'm generally flexible at tournaments overall, so.
Yeah, well, make sure you post your rules. That's my only concern.
No, they'll be posted tonight. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
It's okay.
So yeah, as I was mentioning, Pump is sort of this like black box to me, in terms of what the community's up to. In terms of other Pump tournaments, how does this stack up in size?
Well, I mean, I guess for like the East Coast, for us, this is probably one of the bigger ones that we've had like in a while in a national sense. Let's see. I don't know how much the big deal has for the past 2 years, and I know California always gets everyone, considering the fact that the United States Pump Festivals have been held in California for like I don't know how long now. So
yeah, World Pump Fest, has it always been in California?
The United States Pump Nationals more or less have been in California. I think it's because, well, it's always we need to decide on on a location. It's either going to be either Round 1 or Dave & Buster's, because that has to go through Andamiro, and they work with them and they get back to our supporters, who are the ones organizing all the pump festivals of their respective national countries.
Okay.
And it's just a huge mess from there, but I mean, we get things done.
So what are the between DDR and Pump, what are the payouts for the winners?
So I don't know exact payouts right now, just because it's going to be variability if people decide to enter or drop between now and then.
I mean, are you doing percentages?
Yeah, it's percentages for top 4. If dance games get big enough, eventually, I think I do want to expand to top 8 like the fighting games. But that kind of requires there to be pop and stuff like that.
Do you know what those percentages are going to be?
I don't have them off the top of my head. I think it's usually something like, so don't quote me on this, it's usually something like 60, like 25, and then like 10-5 or something, like whatever quick maths, I'm not good at it. Whatever equals up to 100% with some good dividend.
2 plus 2 was 4.
Minus 1, 3.
That's 3. Quick maths. So let's check your math. Are you doing?
No, that came up to 95%. I knew that like as I said it, which is why it was even worse to me.
The other 5% goes to me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
It's
The other 5% goes to Jabali for saving Dance Game.
No.
Jabali is the dance game
The-
of here.
The Jabali tax. the true spirit of Jabated.
Call it salt tax. It's your salt tax.
That actually goes to the bottom three. That last 5%.
Oh, there you go.
they get to play to see who's the worst.
What a novel idea. So stay in there, guys. Don't leave even if you lose. I'm assuming it's going to be double elimination, right? Is that the intent?
Yeah, double elimination. In the Groove might have this interesting format because it's it for 2016, where there's 2 rounds of pools into a 16-man bracket.
How many people are in the Groove?
63 as of yesterday.
Oh, that's
We just
pretty.
need 6 more.
It's pretty close. Who's running that?
Kyle Dobe, Ryoto community.
Oh, Dobe. Okay. Dial
and-
Kobe.
Dial Kobe.
Yes, and Zachary Maitland.
Okay, cool. That should be fun. I wish they were here to tell us more about that. Do you know? Can you speak on those tournaments?
Sure. In the Groove is essentially going to have the same format besides the potential of the pools. As I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
that is using a custom song pack that it's difficult. In the Groove FA has gotten kind of ridiculous in recent years. It went from ITG has no crossovers to ITG only has crossovers, 24 bursts, 30-second drills, into brackets and foot switching.
It's gonna be
Dude,
fun.
that sounds like Pump.
Right.
Yeah.
So I consider, modern in the Groove pump with tighter windows.
Pump it up in the Groove too.
It sounds like chart theory. We were having a very interesting discussion about chart theory in here the other day. John is very excited about it.
It's kind of true. People have reached a point where it's like, if it's not rhetorically accurate to what the chart should be doing, it's trash. Which kind of threw out the whole, the chart doesn't have to be like 100% accurate as long as it's fun, which is actually why most of the community ended up playing. So that's why I think ITG saw like a very sudden decline once quote-unquote Skittle notes became a thing.
Skittle notes, man. I've got so much.
Taste the rainbow.
Of course. There's so much I have to learn. Beat map theory, file. A friend of mine called it files, and so now for any game that they play, it doesn't matter. Like it's not a chart. It's not notes. It's a file. It's like, I love that song on 2DX. It's my favorite file. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Well, cool, man. It sounds like it's going to be a good time. Hopefully it runs very smoothly. I'm excited to see the streams. Oh, speaking of which, do you guys have channels in mind that you're going to be streaming from?
Not yet. I think I might try and do it from already established channels that have some sort of dance game following rather than starting fresh new ones. That probably seems like a better idea for this year, and then maybe next year getting official EO channels.
So I guess the question is, where could we find it? Like, if we're not at the event and we want to watch it, I'm sure it'll be on Facebook, but like, is there a centralized place that people can check?
So I will be posting. I will be getting in contact with Jabali to have the stream links posted on the official CEO gaming site on the DDR Storm page. So that way, if they're not on Facebook, they can access it through the main CEO page.
Okay.
But there will be Twitch streams for sure. Any idea who's going to be doing it for Pump?
That's a good question indeed. I mean, I guess we can run it off of like, one of my channels, I guess. We'll figure something out. I mean, I'll have my laptop and everything.
Yeah,
So
I think DDR is probably going to be run off my Viva Twitch TV/Viva La Mood Chicken.
Yeah.
And then DDR, or sorry, In the Groove is probably going to be run from the official Dance Game House stream.
Yeah.
If you have those links handy, you should post them up in the chat so we can do it.
How about I plead the fifth instead?
There you go.
I'm going to make sure that the Dance Game House is correct.
So for those of you watching on Twitch and YouTube later, you can see this. And I'll be sure to include the links in the descriptions of the videos as well. So hey, there goes your pink hat. I see it.
Oh, there I am. The Puyo Puyo-fied me.
You're looking very swank, man.
Looking very anime.
Very looking.
looking.
Very looking.
You're very looking to me.
Very looking. My new quote, 2018.
I was gonna ask Bad something, but he left. Unfortunately, we missed him. Oh well. Well, that's cool, guys. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll probably be popping in the streams. Obviously, I can't go. It's kind of short notice for me, but I would like to check it out. And if the streams are good, I might just rehost them on my own channel. So make sure
Much
you,
appreciated.
yeah, it'll be fun. Try to get the word out there. Very looking.
Very looking.
You got any questions, comments from everything, from people listening in?
Yeah, free to answer any questions about the event.
Blake, I know you got a burning question, bro.
Not really. Sounds cool. I wish I could have made it.
We will not have Nostalgia Daddies or Spy Kids at Storm, unfortunately.
I mean, you gotta throw a late night Spy Kids 3D viewing party.
Oh my god.
I think Saturday night after the events, I want to have like a kind of a freestyle exhibition.
Oh yeah.
Oh hey, maybe we can go even older school and like use the Data FPC's Zero machine for Pump.
I mean, I'd be fine with that.
Just gotta play all the old songs that no one can play anymore because they all got removed.
Isaac asks a good question. He's always hungry. So, what are you guys doing for food?
Ooh, that is something that Josh always planned. So I actually did not even think about a food meetup. Crap. There's so many food options nearby. I'll just have to figure out one of the local food places and make a very, 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 very large reservation.
So, at some point, if you're going, you might be hanging out with these gentlemen.
So IHOP.
IHOP it is, right?
I hob.
There is an IHOP. There is a Denny's. There's like Apple. There's all the major restaurant chains in the area.
Are they within like walking distance, or would you have to drive there?
No, there's a bunch within walking distance. Unfortunately, this is a mile south of the venue we had last for Storm 2016,
Mm-hmm.
and that venue had like a Publix across the street.
That's what we got.
Oh.
Yeah, and for one of the storms, it was the chicken tender pub sub sale
Oh man,
during the storm weekend. And,
they got wrecked, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was just walking around the venue, seeing a bunch of people with pub subs.
Those people worked the hardest they've ever had, I'm sure.
Tip your Publix employee.
No more tendies.
Yeah, if you guys don't already know, which I can't imagine if you're listening to this podcast, you don't already know. Publix, they make these subs, and sometimes they have sales, and the best sub is the buffalo chicken tender sub.
So I don't know if you know this, Hector, but Publix aren't everywhere in the U.S.
That's what I'm saying, dog. I don't
There's probably
know.
a lot of people who don't know anything about a Publix.
I don't know, bro. I don't know who's listening, but let me tell
At
you,
least
Publix
they're
is amazing.
at least they're very looking.
The Publix are
Very lucky.
Very looking.
I make no assumptions. I'm just saying. Publix is what's up.
I think they stop in North Carolina.
I think they're a Florida company, aren't they? I could be speaking out of school, but I feel like they originated in Florida.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
It's one of the good things that came out of Florida. Let's just say that.
Yeah, until I moved down here, I'd never even seen or heard of a Bubbles. So
Yeah,
I
I'm used
grew up on
to
Kroger.
Kroger, Wegmans.
yeah, like
Friendlies.
Kroger, I'd never heard of either. I came from like the Chicago, Michigan, Great Lakes area, so those stores did not exist up there.
What is up there, like Giant Eagle?
So where I was from, we went to Meyer a lot, and there was also Jewel.
Jewel, never heard of that.
Never
Yeah,
heard of it.
I've heard of Meyer.
I've
Yeah.
heard of Meyer. And they're at what, local grocery store?
Meyer's actually very centralized to the Great Lakes area. Like they're not very far out from that area at all.
Okay.
Cool, man. All right, well, I hope you guys have the best time of your lives. It's going to be sweet. I know it's going to be great. And with any luck, we'll see it again next year. So Tiger was the guy who ran the show last time. Is he going to be making an appearance? Do you guys know or not?
Yeah, he will be.
All right, cool. He's not entering anything, though, is he?
No, he just goes to spectate now. The last like 3 years I ran it with, he didn't want to run it, so he pushed off all the organization responsibilities to me. He handled the financial aspects of it.
Okay.
But definitely Storm 2017, I could tell, would probably have been the last one under him. Because that was the point where after that one, he still offered like to do it for 2017 financially if I had the time to do it, but I was just so busy. Like I had just gotten a new job and stuff. I needed to kind of get acclimated to it.
Sure, yeah.
So that's why Storm 2017 didn't happen. Just because I didn't have the availability. And Josh didn't have the passion.
Well, I mean, he's been running it for a while. I don't blame him. He's been very active in the scene for a long time, and then I remember he did take a break for a little bit. I met Josh at a tournament back at Funsville in Augusta, Georgia. This was years ago, and he had his camera back then too. That's the one thing he was always doing. He was always recording.
Yep.
These guys are posting memes in the chat. Sorry. Oh boy. But yeah, he's done a lot for the community, and I'm glad he was around for as long as he was. I guess he's running a YouTube channel now, doing Let's Plays and stuff. Is he doing anything else? Do you know? Like anything else on the internets?
Not really. He's been chilling, enjoying life, which he's needed. I know he was having a rough couple years with all the organization.
Yeah, he stayed busy.
Yep. So
Love
now
hearing
he's
that.
just enjoying life slowly now.
Great. All right. Well, shout outs to Jabali for running this thing, getting all the sponsors. Please take your showers. And please,
Yes.
Red Bull is not a substitute for water. Make sure
You can have
you can
Red
have
Bull with water.
you can have one Red Bull, just one. The rest of the time, if you're playing, you should be drinking water. It's going to be super hot as well, right? So as Steve was saying
Yes.
earlier, bring your sunscreen and watch out for heat stroke. It's going to be hot, so super hot fire, exactly.
Oh, I should probably mention this because it is in a convention center. The no outside food or drink rule applies. However, outside water will be allotted.
So you can bring your Nalgene bottles, fill them up. I'm assuming since it's a convention center, they'll have water fountains and stuff. But yeah, just stay hydrated. It's very important.
Yep. Even if you're not entering anything, stay hydrated.
Exactly. Yeah. Because the last thing we want is a person passing out. Might not be a good idea.
Yep. If you are across tournament entry or plan on going into the fighting game ballroom and you were playing a match, be courteous and at least if you don't shower after playing your match or whatever, and you go into the room, at least change your clothes so you're not a sweaty, stinky mess.
Please. We're trying to make our best impressions here. Want people to respect us. So yes. The past 5 minutes have been memes in the channel and the show chat, so relentlessly posting memes. All right, well, I think we're at a good point to wrap it up. Any last thoughts? Any questions, comments, anything before I pull the plug on this?
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Towelly says, don't forget to bring a towel. Okay. All right, well, I'm playing the theme song now, so thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. It's been a great show. Thanks, Steven, for taking time out of your day. I know you said you were kind of tired, so I appreciate you taking the time to say hey and tell us all about this event.
Yeah, no problem.
I think next week we're going to talk, I brought it up in the chat, but next week we're going to talk about arcade horror stories, which should be pretty fun. We have some people who actually work at arcades. This was an idea brought up by Wirt, so shout out to the Wirt.
Hi.
You should try getting Hudson in here.
Yeah, man, we'll invite anybody in here. It doesn't matter. Well, I mean, yeah, Vince, you probably know Hudson better than I do, so you should get him in here to ask him some stories about kids at the arcades. Anyway, I'm going to be signing off. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, babies.